Hello everyone, and now, so first off, I want to start this video off by saying Happy Veterans Day to every veteran out there. Every veteran out there who has served in the military, whether that be Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, National Guard, Coast Guard, and even the Space Force, even though I will say I think the Space Force is ridiculous. I think it is, I feel like we don't need a Space Force. I feel like we're fine with the branches that we have. No offense to anyone in the Space Force, but that's just how I feel. But either way, I want to start this off by saying Happy Veterans Day to all of them. I strongly support the military. I feel like I've made that kind of clear on this channel, with my political videos, that I love the military. I think I don't like the direction the military is going in right now, with it going very woke, and rather than focusing on combat and being ready to fight a war. Instead, we're focusing on pronouns and being nice and inclusive and all that. So I don't like that, and I totally think we need to start making our military back to how it was, make it strong again, and we just need to fix that. But I strongly support the military. I think we do need a strong military. I don't agree with weak military. And I've had family in the military. I've mentioned this before. I've had a grandfather who my grandfather, he was a colonel in the U.S. Army. He served in Korea and Vietnam. And Vietnam, he actually got a Purple Heart because a grenade actually blew up next to him. And my older brother is actually in the U.S. Army Reserves, which right now, which is awesome and all that. So I want to start this video off by simply saying that Happy Veterans Day to every veteran out there. Thank you so much for everything you do for us. I feel like the United States has kind of always treated its veterans badly, and I hate that. I hate how this country has treated veterans. I was listening to Jocko's podcast yesterday, and the person he had on was he was a veteran in the Vietnam War. They were actually talking about his son, but he talked about how he got back from Vietnam and people were screaming at him. People were screaming at him and every other soldier there that came back from Vietnam. And I've heard the stories of the soldiers came back from Vietnam and they were spit on, and I don't like that. Look, no matter what your view is on Vietnam, don't spit on the soldiers who, frankly, they were just following orders. They were following orders. They couldn't say no. A lot of them, I feel like, didn't even want to be in Vietnam, but they had to be in Vietnam. And, no matter what your opinion on Vietnam is. I personally understand why we went in. I understand why we went in. We have to stop communism. We had to stop, that whole domino effect of if Vietnam failed to communism, then, the entire world was. So I understand that, and I'm not entirely against us going into Vietnam, and same reason I'm not entirely against us going into the Middle East or Afghanistan, because I understand why we went in. I don't like how long we stayed in in the Middle East or Afghanistan, but I understand why we went in and all that. But hearing those stories of people getting spit on, returning from Vietnam. This country has treated its veterans terribly, and I've always hated that. But so I really do want to say, to all the veterans watching this, if there's any veterans watching this, first off, thank you so much for everything you do. Veterans probably have are probably the most brave people ever. That with police officers, to be able to wake up every day and decide, what, for a career, I'm going to choose a job that I can die every single day. And the thing is, I went through the process of, joining the Army. I went to the recruiter. I talked with my recruiter, and I took the ASVAB. I didn't pass the ASVAB, but I think I was so close to passing it. If I took it a second time, I probably would have. But at the last minute, I chose to step back. And yes, part of it was kind of because of, my own political, personal reasons and all that. But also another reason is just because, I got scared. I got scared and terrified of, like actually going through with it, and I decided at the last minute step away. I decided at the last minute, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm going to step away, and I'm just going, find a normal civilian job, and rather than being in the military. And the thing is, do I regret that? Yeah, kind of. I do kind of regret it, and the reason I say kind of because. Again, the military is going very woke. They're focusing on pronouns. They're not focusing on combat. They are lowering expectations for soldiers. So it's like, I don't like where it's going, but yeah, I do kind of regret not joining the military, not being in the army. But, and, kind of backing out at that last minute, being like, because I was too scared of, fully committing and going into it. And the thing is, look, you can call me a coward for that. You can call me a coward for that, say, like, I make these political videos and, I'm calling all this out, but it's like, and you know what, you can point at me, but like, you backed out at the last chance. Like, at the last moment, you backed out and, didn't join the military. And, so, you know what, you can use that against me. You can. But, honestly, something like that actually made me love veterans even more than I already did. Like, I've always had a massive love for, the military and for soldiers, but especially that, whereas like at the last moment, I decided, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm sorry. Like, I just can't do this. That made me appreciate and love veterans even more, because you guys decide, hey, I'm actually going to go through with it. I am going to go through it. I'm going, go through basic training. I'm going to put my boots on. I'm going to, go miles overseas into like foreign countries and possibly get into firefights, put your life on the line, and like you chose to do it. You chose to do it, and like I've heard the like stories, especially from like the Jocko podcast, which I love Jocko, by the way. Like I love his podcast and everything, and hearing those stories of, the battles over there, like the combat that they have to deal with. And like, I hear them. I just, I just think to myself, I couldn't go through with that. I feel like I wouldn't be able to, deal with actual combat. And, we have thousands of, probably more than that, people volunteering to join the military, going over to, like, and fighting for this country, being deployed to other countries and putting their life on the line for us. And so I really want to say thank you for that so much, for any veteran listening to this. All right, so now that I've talked about Veterans Day, and I kind of gave my thanks and all that. That honestly was not what I wanted this video to be. Like, I was just like, I want to say Happy Veterans Day to everyone out there, because, I very much love the military. I also kind of want to talk about other stuff. I kind of want to kind of bring up, like, this topic, like, moving away from that, kind of moving more towards kind of, like, the nerdy gaming aspect of, my channel and all that. I was wondering, I've been kind of wondering, the past few days, if, if I should come back to the Let's Plays. And the thing is, this is a thing with my channel that, like, I've gone back and forth on. I've done the Let's Plays and then I've stopped them. And then, I started doing the Let's Plays again and then I stopped doing them. But the thing is, I like doing them. I like doing these Let's Plays. I like, playing, like, doing a playthrough of some of my, of my favorite games and all that. And, I don't like that, right now, like, by the time I'm recording this video, my Skyrim playthrough, I did not finish, and, it's still going on, technically. My Assassin's Creed 3 playthrough is still going on, technically. And Red Dead Redemption is still going on, technically. And so it's like, I want to continue those playthroughs. Red Dead Redemption, I'm going to have to get back to where I was, like, where I ended off the last video, because I actually just, I ended up just keep playing through Red Dead Redemption on my own. So, like, I'm at the end of the game, so I'm gonna have to, like, play through the game again, get to where I was and all that. But like, I do want to start doing them again. But like really a big issue is kind of just the fact that like wh- where I work right now, I have very little free time. I have very little time to actually do the Let's Plays. Like, even, on a light week, like, this week hasn't been too bad for me. But it's like, even, on a light week, it's, I get home and I have very little time, just to sit down and play a video game or really do anything other than eat, to take a shower, and then go to sleep. And it's like when I was making the Let's Play videos, I was waking up at like 5 o'clock, 2 hours before I had to go in, because actually like 3 hours, because I have to be in by 8, but like I need to leave by 7. Like it's like a 40-minute like drive from my house to like where I work, but it's like, so I used to like wake up at 5, and then I would record the video, and then I would edit, upload it before I went to work. But that's not really that wasn't the best idea for recording the videos, because I was tired. I was still very tired, like, because I just woke up. It was very early in the morning, and like, nowadays, I have like, I'm having trouble, to wake up at that time every day, to push myself up, make the video, really just to wake up and do anything at that time. And I normally end up sleeping in until like my alarm goes off at like around 7. So either way, I kind of want to get back to doing the Let's Plays, finish the playthroughs I was doing, and start other playthroughs, and start other challenges, because they were a lot of fun. They were. And honestly, I kind of want to stop, like, get away a little bit from the political videos I've made, talk about politics and all that. I kind of want to get away from that, at least on the channel. Like Twitter, I'm probably going to still be talking about politics, posting politics and all that. But even on Twitter, I kind of want to start posting gaming stuff again, and kind of just moving away from politics and all that. Kind of simply just because I kind of want to just go back to just talking about gaming, talk about gaming, make videos about gaming and all this stuff. Rather than yelling about Trump and like Democrats and all this stuff, and like Republicans and just all this stuff. I rather I honestly kind of want to go back, talk about gaming, yell about something that's happened in a video game or something like that. Or I come back to making the videos where it's like, hey, I'm back playing a video game and here we go. I don't know. I need to I need to think about it, and honestly, you guys will find out if I decide to come back to the Let's Plays, if I upload a Let's Play video. And like that's just my mindset right now. I'm thinking about it. I'm not positive I'm gonna do it. I'm just like, that's what I'm thinking of right now, because I do like doing them. I do like doing the Let's Plays. Like they are a lot of fun. Like they are a lot of fun, and I feel like, especially when, once I start playing horror games, it's going to be like pretty fun and all that. But really, just any game, like it's just fun making. Like I had fun, doing the Halo Combat Evolved Pistol Challenge, the playthrough of Injustice, God Among Us, Rise of Rome, and Call of Duty 2. Just to name a few playthroughs, and even the playthroughs I was doing, like Skyrim, Assassin's Creed 3, Red Dead Redemption. Those playthroughs were a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing those playthroughs, and I do want to kind of get back to making those videos, and have entire just do Let's Plays and all that. And also kind of want to move away from politics, rather than talk about politics, talk about news, talk about what's going on in the world. I kind of want to move away from that and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to talk about video games. I'm going to make a video about video games. I'm going to make I'm going to do these let's plays of video games that I'm playing, that I love and all that. I don't know. It's just what I'm thinking of. Anyway, I don't know if I will come back to it or not. Anyway, you guys will find out if, you see a Let's Play video on the channel. It either will be the next part of Skyrim or Red Dead Redemption or Assassin's Creed 3. Who knows? Either way, thank you all for watching. And again, happy Veterans Day to every veteran out there. Thank you all for all you do for us. Like, you sacrifice everything for us, and I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.